Here it comes from the fabulous penthouse studios of News Talk 1070 KNTH. This is The Price is Right. This is The Price of Business. Author of the hugely influential Empowerment to the People, award-winning, nationally syndicated columnist Kevin Price brings a fresh perspective to business news and the events that shape our lives. And now, here is the star of The Price of Business, Kevin Price.
I'm delighted to be with you here on this Wednesday. Hoping you had a great day. Looking forward to spending some time with some of the best minds in business. Later on today's program, looking forward to talking to the Bureau Chief of Bloomberg on the program, talking about the national news that's taking place. But on this segment, I get to spend time with my friend Walter Rogers, and he's with Baker Communications. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing outstanding, Kevin. How are you today?
Doing great. Glad to have you on, and eager as always to find out what you're bringing to the program. Why don't you introduce our guest today?
Yeah, you bet, Kevin. And so, as we continue to work our way through this challenging economy, we love to bring you bright lights and great examples of fearless CEOs that are, making the right decisions and basically grabbing market share while everybody else is shrinking. And I've got on air today with us Gordon Strout, who's the CEO of Instone. And Instone is the largest wholesale distributor of cultured stone in the United States. So they serve the construction industry, which, of course, is one of the not-so-bright spots in the economy.
Yeah,
and what's phenomenal about what Gordon's been able to do is as the market is shrinking, Instone is not.
Interesting.
And I'd love to have Gordon tell the story as to how they are not shrinking while the rest of the market is. So, Gordon, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Walter. Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Good to have you on. Thank you.
It's good to be here. So, a little bit about our company. First of all, cultured stone is a registered trademark. It's a product that's made by a company called Boral. Boral is an Australian company that also happens to be the largest brick manufacturer in the United States. And they recently acquired Cultured Stone, the Cultured Stone business unit from Owens Corning, who had owned it since, I think, 1995. But at any rate, that is the focus of our sales effort is probably 90% of our business. We do sell some other accessory products and so forth, but Walter and Walter's company, Baker Communications, has recently helped us with their program around sales and marketing, and it was just a great experience and on many levels. So I'm sure Walter can kind of get me started here with whichever direction he wants me to take it in. But
let me ask you, Gordon. I know that we were prepping for the show a little while ago, and you told me a little bit about your strategy of not laying sales staff off, not closing down warehouses. Using this downturn as really as an opportunity to increase market penetration. Tell us a little bit about your overall strategy and why you didn't choose to lay anybody off when everybody else did.
Well, again, unfortunately, we had some trimming of staff, and certainly everybody took pay reductions to control expense. But one thing that we were committed to in the Northeast, we operate 3 warehouses, one in Connecticut, one in New Jersey, and one in Virginia. And there's a salesperson that works out of the Connecticut warehouse. There's a salesperson that works out of the Virginia warehouse. So they have multiple states, but that's their base of operations. And there's one warehouse. Those are satellite warehouses to our main warehouse in New Jersey. We felt the trend was for people to cut sales force and remove themselves from actively calling on customers. In our case, it's masonry yards and stone yards and people who generally trade in the masonry channel. That's who we sell our products to. They were cutting their sales staff and closing plants, and we felt that we could find other ways to trim our operating costs, but still maintain our market position, aggressively pursuing new business, new dealers, and maintaining an excellent service platform to our existing dealer base. Because the last thing we wanted to see happen was a migration away from, if our service platform was not as effective or not as the service levels dropped in any way, shape, or form, we felt we might lose customers. So our goal was to maintain our existing customer base and go beyond that, grow aggressively while everybody else was retreating on the sales and marketing end.
Yeah, I want to. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish up there.
And then again, kind of based on the nature of this economy, we had an opportunity to buy a business in Chicago last year that looked very similar to ours. There was another kind of niche wholesaler that was operating in the Chicago market for 40 years or so, bought out by Hahn Industries, and the Hahn Industries makes heatilator and heat and glow fireplaces, and somehow they thought this was aligned with their business at the time, and about six or 7 years ago bought this privately held wholesaler, and I guess it didn't really work out in the end with their business strategies, and we bought their cultured stone and related products wholesale business from them in March of 2010.
Hey, Gordon.
So again, the economy.
Hey, Gordon.
Go ahead.
Gordon.
Yep.
I just want to interject because I know in my case I had a couple of questions. I'm sure Walter did too. So if you don't mind, kind of like wrapping that up, so we can get to some of those other questions, that'd be great.
Yep.
Okay, great. Hey, I want to ask real quick. In fact, we only have a couple of minutes left. I do want to ask, what are the things that have been seen in this economy that, there's the obviously the bust that took place, but what are some other things that have happened in this economy that people haven't realized? And we have about 30 seconds left for you to answer that when it comes to your business.
Well, certainly the nature of the economy has created a situation where most dealers in our business have gotten to a point where they've burned off all their excess fat. In other words, they're pretty operating on a pretty tight capital structure. So again, what we do is we shift the burden away from them of having to manage stock inventory, and we make it readily available, which is huge. And in fact, I think it makes our dealer base much more profitable. But again, it validates a business model that I think works in any economy, but certainly it becomes much more valid in this economy.
Gordon, what's your website, real quick?
Instoneco.com. That's INSTONECO.com.
Thank you very much. And of course, Walter Rogers is at Baker Communications, BakerCommunications.com. Your phone number, real quick, Walter.
713-627-7700. That's 713-627-7700.
Fascinating topic. Thanks for being with us, gentlemen.
All right. Thank you, Kevin.
Have a great rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
All right. We'll have
Take
a lot
care.
more for you right after this on The Price of Business.